Hi everybody, thanks for tuning in, and today I'm just going to do something a little different. I wanted to kind of go over how I got started in auto repair and then how that led me to where I am here today, doing my own thing out of my own shop and stuff. It's a very rewarding career and a lot of people don't think so, and the mentality kind of used to be that, a grease monkey was just a grease monkey, and why would you ever go to school for that, and, all that crap, and, despite all that negativity, I did, persevere and, anyways, kept with it and, was able to make a career out of this that's, been very, very, very beneficial for me. And, a lot of people also, that could get into it and do something like this. And, there's big lack of, skilled labor out there, and especially, anything technical. So, there's definitely not a lot of mechanics out there, or technicians, whatever you want to be called. It doesn't matter to me per se. I know a lot of people are kind of sensitive to that. So, but anyway, I just wanted to kind of make a video about that. So, if you're interested in what, I've been up to here in the shop and things I've been doing, I was kind of, give kind of a broad overview of, again, what was involved with me getting here today. So, yeah, I started out, your typical youngster going to school and all that, just high school, and I got my first truck when I was 15 is when I bought it. So I'd saved up enough money, working on the farm in my younger years, that I had some money stashed away to get a truck. So first truck was my 1994 half-ton GMC pickup. It had 210,000 on it, I think, and it was in decent shape, but, I bought a 1994 pickup with 200,000 miles in 2005, I guess. So if you figure that much out, it was okay looking pickup, but, kind of worn out. So, but that kind of got the gears turning right there because, yeah, she needed work, of course, and especially with having a 16-year-old behind the wheel when I finally did get my license. So, as Eric Carguy says, drove in kind of a spirited manner. And I definitely did, broke a lot of stuff, and so it's just wrenching right away, and I thought that was pretty neat. The one thing I noticed was that even way back then in high school, so for me, I was in high school from 2005 to 2008, yeah, like there was just nobody out there that had any knowledge of vehicles, and it was just amazing to me. There's professionals in all these different trades, all the stuff, electrical, plumbing, construction, people that know what they're doing. And it comes to auto mechanics, there was no one. You can't ask anybody for good information, and I just could not believe that. And so I was real curious and kind of pursued from there. I actually took collision repair in high school at our vocational school. I thought maybe that would be something that I was more interested in. And, as anybody who's done any sort of body work, it's not the funnest sometimes. The results often can be satisfying, but the process getting there, not so much. And a lot of sanding and prep and all this, that, and the other. And so I wasn't going to pursue anything with collision repair and all that. But there was a guy come in from Lincoln Technical College, or Lincoln Technical Institute. Now I think it's Lincoln College of Technology. But yeah, so representative, he come out from Lincoln Tech and talked to us there at the vocational center about potentially signing up to go to college there. My eyes lit up right away, and I don't know why. I shouldn't even dicked around with it, and that's what I would recommend to anybody else, is probably don't go to any sort of school like that as far as a tech school unless you're going to be able to commute. I mean, don't go and go somewhere that you have to get an apartment to stay to go to school and do all that crap. It's way too much money. Definitely do something local, community college route, or like I say, if you're close to a tech school like Lincoln Tech or something where you can commute, that's fine. But I ended up packing up bags and I moved to Indianapolis after high school to go to Lincoln Tech there for automotive. And yeah, so that's where we went. All right, hey! And so that's where, hey, dude, damn it, man. All right. Alright, like I say, so I ended up packing up bags, going to Indianapolis to Lincoln Tech to do my automotive program there. And, You know, I didn't really take it that seriously, sadly, there at school. You know, I was there and I definitely was grasping everything that, you know, they were trying to teach, but I wasn't getting given 100%, and a lot of that was just kind of my mentality there, that I was just sick of being away from home and didn't like being in the city, and I guess homesick for lack of a better word, and it was hard to kind of, I guess, make friends down there. You people down in Indianapolis aren't the friendliest with the old country boys, but anyways, you know, neither here nor there really. I did end up graduating and got a job while I was working, or while I was in school. I ended up getting a couple jobs. I started out at Jiffy Lube, was just changing oil, and that's kind of how I got my foot in the door, I guess, as far as, you know, getting experience on the cars with a job. You know, changing oil is not that in-depth per se, but I will say on the modern vehicles, there are a lot of little, you know, twerks that you gotta understand on these things, and so just being around them, you know, definitely helped to kind of understand them a little bit better. From there, say I was probably only at Jiffy Lube for maybe 2 or 3 months, and then got a job at a actual repair shop. It's called CarX, similar to you know, like a Midas. Trying to think of other shops I could compare it with, but there's probably a whole bunch of chain shops out there that everybody knows. Here where I'm at, there's not a whole lot. The best I could think of is a Midas, maybe a Bell Tire, something, but anyways. And I just was started there as a lube tech, and then by the time, you know, I was there a few months, I kind of worked my way up to where I was doing a little bit of repair here and there, and they were letting me try my hands at some different things, and I was just doing well with it, and so I was rewarded with more work to try and do. And by the time I graduated school and was ready to come back home and it was leaving there, I started out as just a lube tech, and they had to replace me with a full-time mechanic. I mean, it was how much work I was getting done, and you know, I seemed to add a lot to their volume as far as the amount of work that they were getting in there. So that worked out pretty slick, I guess, as far as getting the experience and everything. But yeah, I graduated then end of 2009 from college, and I stayed down there and worked for just a little bit. But yeah, like I say, I ended up did come back home here to Michigan and got a job down just north of Detroit in Shelby Township, the northeast kind of. People are gonna critique me from that area, but anyways, and worked down there for about 5 years and got, again, a lot of good experience, but there were no good mentors with that shop. I walked in the door and I knew more than anybody that had worked there ever. It seemed like nobody had any idea about, you know, the modern vehicle and how it worked, and, you know, really how to repair it. And it was pretty sad that, you know, right out of school with little to no experience, I walked in there and that was the situation. So there was lots of room for me to grow, which was the benefit of that. The downside was there was no one to really, you know, mentor me per se. So I did lose out on a lot. There were a lot of things where I just chased my tail on, and, you know, I guess I never really did fix. You know, we ended up brooming it to another shop or whatever the case was, or sent it to a dealer, you know, things that, you know, I just wasn't equipped to handle just because I was so green at that time. But skipping forward though, I did get into a lot of trouble with the law for a while. Had some drinking problems, and so I lost my license for a while and had to actually go and so leave that job down there in the city because I couldn't drive down there anymore. And so I'll make a long story short here though. I did get into the Alcoholics Anonymous program. Currently have 6 years sober, and just going to continue with that. But, you know, I did get a job locally here at another shop that was just kind of around the corner from where I was living with my dad, and that really materialized too a lot, as far as I worked there for a couple years with no license, and I wasn't driving any cars or nothing. They had somebody else drive everything. It was a pretty embarrassing situation, but got through that, and then got to where I got my license back, and then I worked there for another 4 years. And again, it was, you know, a really good technician for him, and that was a really great place to work as well. And then there was also a gentleman there that was very knowledgeable, much more so than myself at the time, and he definitely broadened me a lot as far as, you know, what I knew, you know, and he brought a lot of that old school mechanic stuff, I guess, into my world, not the old, you know, parts hanger type mechanic stuff, but as far as, you know, this is how we used to diagnose these, and this is how we diagnose these, and this is how we diagnose these, and it all worked. And it was like, man, I can't believe in all my time so far, nobody has been able to just say that this is how this is done and this is how this is done. So I got to credit that guy for having the knowledge, man. He really knew. Was a great guy to work with. But yeah, and then it come to the point though where again there's just such a shortage of qualified technicians that between me and him running in that repair shop, honestly, we had a pretty good name for ourselves there, and we're staying extremely busy, and it kind of got overwhelming to the point where I was asking for more help in there with taking care of some of the secretarial type stuff, answering the phone. So me and him, literally, we answered the phone, we wrote the invoice, wrote the estimate, repaired the car. I mean, we did it start to finish, everything but take the money. So there was a lot of customer service involved on our ends too, so we weren't always able to wrench. And wrenching is where we made the money, and that was my dilemma there, was if you're going to pay me to wrench, then I shouldn't be doing this stuff. And anyway, when you're in that kind of situation, basically you either work for the other person and then you just suck it up, or you can make a move, and that's what I did. I just said, well, I'll piss on it then, I'm going to make a move, and I'm going to go do my own thing. And I had just purchased the property here, which had the barn on it already that I work out of, which is this shop. And I just kind of outfitted it, I guess, as I needed it, and it's pretty much enough just where I can get one vehicle in here. I got my one lift, and it's just me in here, and then I just take on work word of mouth, and that's just kind of how I've been running my show anyway. On the channel here, I do a lot of content also about, my different trucks that I have. A lot of people probably aren't so interested in me dicking around building custom trucks and this and that. But I am very versed in repair, and so I've been putting a lot of those videos out, and a lot of people seem to be biting and watching those and giving me some good feedback, and so I do appreciate that. If you guys are getting helped by anything I'm putting out there, and I know a lot of it too isn't very in-depth and informative either, and so if you're just sitting there bearing through it, I thank you for that too, so very much so. And I thank all my subscribers so far. I'm up to 97 subscribers, so that's pretty impressive. If I go ahead and search my own name on YouTube, I'm the most popular Curtis Reynolds on there, so that's something. But yeah, I definitely do appreciate it, and plan to just try and grow the channel and see what happens. So I'm not looking to get rich or anything, but sometimes if I do have a little spare time on my Sunday morning, I don't mind watching some of my own videos, and I think it's pretty entertaining, and I hope everybody else is kind of, just as they come out, you find them entertaining too, and don't mind critiquing either. If you see something that you'd like me to make a video about or something, what have you, I could try and do something like that. And but really none of these videos matter if nobody's watching them. That's the reality of it. And so yeah, but that's kind of how I got here to where I am today. I did graduate from Lincoln Tech, like I said, so I have an associate's degree in applied science. And then I also am master certified here in the state of Michigan. No ASE certifications, just because they're not required here in Michigan. We've got our own state level testing, which isn't of the caliber that the ASE is by any means. The ASE testing would probably mean a lot more, but it's just one of those things, I guess, where up here we don't need it, or if you had it, it would just be another level of you showing that you're qualified to do what you're doing. And a lot of people say too that a piece of paper doesn't mean anything, but it does mean that I take a stake in what I know. And I went and took those tests because I was saying, this is the service I'm going to offer, and I know what I'm doing. But anyways, my heater's about to kick on here and get pretty loud, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to kind of do a little shop tour here, what I got happening, and just so that way everybody's on the same keel. And this is me walking into work here, regular old morning. And then we're into the shop here. And so my shop is a 24 by 30 pole barn, and this come as a kit. I bought the property from my brother, and so he actually built the barn. And so I kind of, I already knew what the quality was of the construction here and everything. So that was pretty much walk-in turnkey. He sold the place because he's not starting his family, but he's expanding it, that's for sure. And so he just kind of outgrew the house, and so he needed to get rid of it. And then it was opportune time for me to come in and make a purchase, and like I say, go out and go out for business for myself. But so anyways, I got the door there. I keep the garbage, hoses and cords of sorts, arc welder there. Doesn't get used very often, but it does come in extremely handy at times. Air conditioning machine there, batteries and what have you. I got stairs that run up to, I got a half loft or mezzanine upstairs. And right here I got an engine stand, battery charger, yeah. Miscellaneous stuff. Then the fridge. So in here I just got tool storage. In here's tool storage. Same with these lockers. Just a bunch of tool storage. So and from there I got the press and jack stand, Harbor Freight specials there. Oil drain. Say that toolbox there I don't really need, but I had it over at my dad's when I was working out of his garage for a while. So it's just kind of, I've got it now, so it just sits there. This is kind of the main workstation over here. A lot of my tools that I'm going for are in these two boxes, and then I keep kind of my setup here as far as when I gotta deal with any sort of, you know, obviously office type stuff and writing up invoices or anything like that. I do that in that area. I've got my few scan tools. I got the Varus. Here I got a launch. I've got a couple other ones tucked away in some other spots, a Solus, and I can't think of what the other one is, but that's just kind of stuff you acquire over time as you do it. As you get the scan tools and this and that, and then you get a new one, and then you get a new one, and before you know it, you got a boatload of them. So, got the Mig Welder over here. This is actually a multi-process welder. I've only used it for MIG so far. I still need to get the accessories to do TIG, and then I probably won't use it for any sort of stick welding just because I've got the other arc welder over there. So this is actually a transmission that come out of Blackie there. So this is the 4L80 that I put in originally, and then off camera I actually rebuilt my other transmission that I had, and I put that in Blackie. So, but at the time I was just really busy with repair, and this truck was down, and I just pretty much hammered it out. So no video or nothing like that. Kind of update on Blackie here too. So battery ended up over there. Intake ended up being just a factory one I threw in there for like that. I don't know if I ended up showing this over here, but yeah, the fuse block. Put the electrical center cover on it. So, but yeah, she's getting right along yet, and yeah, my transmission that I rebuilt, that ended up pretty sweet, works just fine. So there'll be some more videos of Blackie coming out at some point, but this is the old workbench though, pretty trusty. So I don't know if anybody's ever taken the time to notice that I got a whole bunch of timbers in there, so it's not quite as janky as it looks if you're looking at it this way. This is actually a pretty stout bench. Neither here nor there. And kind of my little bolt and nut organizer there. So I keep this piece of paper over here just to show the world that somebody thinks I know what I'm doing. Air conditioner right there. Obviously that's only a few months out of the year. Ignorance getting the best of me here, and I'm just leaving the giant hole in the wall for the winter. So I got a hanging furnace up there, natural gas. So that does an excellent job of heating it in here. The barn is insulated, so it's a regular old pole barn, and then all these walls are studded in after the fact, 2x6s, and then blown in insulation, and then all the sheeting went up. So, and a lot of people probably can tell that this is also like packaging type sheeting that you would get stuff in, and that's exactly what it is. So I was just extremely cheap to sheet the whole barn with it. So that's what happened. And as for the lighting here, I think I've got altogether 10 8-foot LED ballasts that light up most of my work area, and that just obviously saves having to have a flashlight or a shop light or any of that stuff all the time. And I've been there before, and when I got this place, I just put the lights in it. I says I wasn't gonna fuck around with the flashlights and all that stuff. But, so I'll take you guys up to the loft too. I don't think anybody's ever seen it up here. That's as far as YouTube's concerned. So here's my loft area. and basically just got a lot of parts and fluids and what have you. I had aspirations at one time to have a little nice hangout up here and got the TV on the wall and stuff, but the reality is my internet out here just isn't good enough to stream anything, and I'm not going to hook anything more up. So and then I got another TV down there and some novelty type signs over here. But yeah, and then over here, compressor. So the compressor I put up in the loft, I just figured I'd like having it off the ground because it takes up a lot of real estate. So put that up here, and some tires. Those are the tires I had on the race truck there originally. Paddle tires I had on the race truck, and then yeah, a bunch of stuff here. So I'm trying to kind of get going yet on getting some shelves up here. Say I've been running shop out of this place now for a year and a half. I've been in business doing my own auto repair, and so this has kind of just been an ongoing process up here and trying to figure out what I need to suit what I'm trying to do out of here. And the other tackle is me trying to do that and then also work around trying to play with my own trucks all the time too. So if you're doing auto repair, you have to be available to do auto repair. You can't tell everybody that you're busy putting a V8 in all your trucks all the time. So sometimes that can be a little bit aggravating as far as when you want to work on your own stuff and people got stuff they want to bring to you, but you just got to know what pays for what, and the repairs got to come first in my case. But and then otherwise there I got the back side of my place, and so just head in there for lunch, or if I got to use the bathroom or what have you. And right there's my solid axle swap project truck, sitting pretty. Let me give her the old zoom skis here. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh. Yeah, she's looking good. So we'll get to that yet. Like I say, it's hard to try to pull in my own stuff when I got repair all the time. But anyways, that's kind of the world that I'm living in, and I don't mind it. So and then I've also got, like I say, all my own toy trucks, and we'll maybe throw a little footage of me starting them up here cold. Get you here next to the old tail ski. Ooh dear. Ooh, 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 ooh. Ooh, it's gonna be some weeds. Some weeds. That could work right there. Heck yeah, it could. Alright. Hang tight. And ignition. Tunk. I hope that answers any questions. Probably not any, but some questions, people might have. They start seeing my videos, and probably more people that are watching the repair stuff than, the truck stuff. But, wondering maybe what my credentials are, or what my operation is, or how I got here, or how in the hell is that guy wearing a pair of rubber boots doing timing chains, Anyway, so things like that. But if you got any questions or anything like that, just drop them in the comments, and I'll try and get to them, if you got something relevant. But yeah, I really just wanted to kind of do an overview of how I got here, and it is something that anybody can do. I don't think I put in necessarily a whole lot more work than anybody else. I was just kind of the only guy that stuck with it. Everybody else I knew went and did something else. They went and worked for, the utility companies, or something like that was just going to pay right now. And you know, and for whatever reason I didn't do that, and I just stuck with the auto repair, which for a long time just seemed like crap work too. I just enjoyed it so much, I guess, but it definitely takes a lot of patience to deal with people, especially people with broken cars, and you know, that's probably more of the art than the actual fixing the cars, is dealing with the people with the broken cars. Anyways, but that's something that I guess probably not a lot of people get into if you're just here watching shit or watching my videos. You know, just so that way you can try and, you know, maybe fix your own stuff or what have you, which is you know, pretty cool. So I admire anybody that actually tries to put in any effort to do something themselves. So right on. And you know, hopefully some of my content will continue to help people, or if nothing else, you find it a little entertaining. And I appreciate the support and subscribers, and all the likes, and you know, that criticism that everybody likes to put in there too, is keep bringing that too. So anyways, I appreciate it, and like I say, we'll talk to you.